it is so great to see you. Um, it always makes me happy knowing I'm going to get a chance to talk to you. Not just because you're a music icon, not just the fact that I've followed your career for so many years, and then the fact that I can call you a friend and we're discussing. It's not even an interview. Yeah, I feel like we're just catching up all the time.
I
So I'm going to
know.
ask you right up the top, how are you doing? And are you living in Toronto or are you in Vancouver? What's going on here? Because I wasn't sure. Because I think the last time we talked, you said you were moving or something.
I am so happy to talk to you, number one. And I remember meeting you for interviews in person back in the good old days. Oh my gosh, I've known you for almost 30 years now, like
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
So thank you for taking time to spend time with me today. I am in Toronto. I
Okay.
lived in Vancouver for 30 years, almost my entire adult life, like holy mackerel. And I moved to Toronto in 2018, right in time for me not to vote for Doug Ford, who got elected anyway. And so the entire time I've lived here, he's been in power, and then the pandemic happened.
Yes.
So I have lived here during all of these kind of weird years. And I have had a really fantastic time getting to know all these amazing things about Ontario. And all my friends in Vancouver make fun of me. Ha ha, you moved away and Doug Ford got elected. And they all made fun of me. And I thought you're wrong. You know what? There's cardinals here. For one thing, they don't have cardinals in British Columbia, and I love these birds more than anything. And I have really I've loved being here, and I love being here so much. I'm right by the lake, and I'm in what used to be called Etobicoke, and I love it here. My manager and his family, which includes my goddaughters and my extended family of little dogs, which are friends to my little dog Grace. They're all in Oakville, so it's a nice blend in between Oakville and downtown where I work all the time. And I love it. I love all the volunteer work that I do here. There's just some amazing people that I've met and gotten to know and love here. I've made great friends here. And it's a cool scene. Toronto's very cool.
Nah, you're cool. You've always been cool, which is why it blew my mind when I saw what happened out in Calgary, which I didn't even know anything about, a documentary about your life. Congratulations on this. How did this all come about?
Oh, it was oh my gosh, I'll try and make it brief. I'll try and summarize how it happened. Um, I wrote a memoir called Ibifficus
Yes.
that I didn't mean to write. My manager of over 30 years, Peter Carroll, kind of badgered me into writing this memoir, and I was teasing him. I said it was because I didn't croak from breast cancer or my heart surgery, and that's or misadventure, if you will.
Yes.
And so he kind of encouraged me to write this memoir, and it came out in 2016.
Yes.
Fast forward to this company that decided they wanted to make a feature film based on my book, Ibifficus. And so there's a feature film in the works based on my life story on Ibifficus. And Peter, my manager, was in a conversation with Yaz Talat and Gabriel Napora regarding how he was getting harassed constantly by these documentary filmmakers all over the world trying to encourage him to make a documentary about my life, and he didn't want to do it. And so he was bemoaning to Yaz and Gabriel about this. And they said, why aren't you working with us about making a documentary? And they talked about Adam Scorgi, who has Scorgi, this company that was had the number one documentary in the world, Bisping. And they have the Jordan Tutu documentary and Danny Trail and all these other documentaries. And so they wound up, long story short, working with Adam and his company and working with Groove Picks and Pollyanna Hardwick Brown, the director. And it just has been over 3 years of making this incredible film and super channel. which is a Canadian company, came on board, and it has just been an amazing journey. And they just have been so amazing. They've honored my story, they honored my birth mom, and my story of origin and my career. And it's a dream come true.
I was blown away by this because this documentary has so many. I mean, we've talked for years, but there were things I didn't know anything about, and I don't want to give too much away, but I will talk about just one thing on, as you said, if you want to call it your origins, I did not know you were an orphan. I had no idea.
Well, I mean, my birth mom was only 15 when she became pregnant with me, and her being in India was kind of a coincidence that my adopted parents were in India at the same time. So, as they say, it was serendipity and it was kismet, it was destiny. And so it's just, and I have a great relationship with her because now I live in Ontario and I live close to her. So it's just all worked out so beautifully.
It's a beautiful story. What did they, how did you get like, because as people know, when they see documentaries, there's of course you talking, they bring other people in, there's footage, there's pictures. How did all of that get organized and how much say did you have in this?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I could not have asked for a better guardian angel than Pollyanna Hardwick Brown. I can't imagine how many millions of hours of footage they combed through so tenderly and so thoughtfully. I don't know where they got the footage. I have no idea. There was no digital footage when I started my career. I have been
That's right.
a singer and in a band since I was 18 years old. We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have computers, and there was no internet. Thank goodness. But yeah, I don't know how they got it all, but they were just so meticulous and so thoughtful, and really lovingly put this together. It's actually such a love story.
How much, now again, how much say did you have in this? And when you saw the whole thing, what were your thoughts?
I cried. I cried from being absolutely overwhelmed that they were so. I don't even know how to express it, and I don't think I have the language to properly convey how humbled I was and how happy I was that they honored not only my story, but the fact that they honored Peter, my manager. I've only had one manager, and it's the story of our bond and people that he had such faith in me as an artist and such a belief in me, and I had blind faith in him. I put my career in his hands and in everyone's hands. And the fact that, we had been through so much, just professionally also, and it goes through like things that were not revealed in my HarperCollins books, things like stalkers that I have had to deal with in the legal system. And everyone knows that I love to say, I love the law, and I do. I have had to have a lot of protections in place. In my career, I've had a lot of stalkers. I have had to deal with a lot of violence, and it's been very daunting over the years. And um, it's just I can't complain. I have no regrets. I've been very, very lucky, not only as an artist, but as a person and as a human being. I've been in love many, many times, and I've had to pay the price for being a gullible girl who believes in love, and I know that I'll fall in love again and again and again and again. I have to celebrate that, and I have to be happy for where I am in my life, in my career. And I hope that everybody comes away from seeing this documentary and feels good and happy and inspired.
How important was it for you to be able to have this story told than somebody else telling your story? Because as we know, when you get other people trying to talk about your life who know nothing about it, suddenly you did this and you did that, and you're going, what are they talking about? How important was it for you to have this kind of control and making this story happen?
Oh, it's amazing. And I know that between Scorgi and the crew, and again with the director, Pollyanna Hardwick Brown and Adam Scorgi, and with Peter, my manager, and with Gabriel and Yaz Talat, Gabriel Napora, and Shane Fantasy. This is exactly a dream come true for me. This is such a beautiful um, telling of my life and my career. And I feel now, I feel really like I'm a mid-career artist in many ways. I feel like I'm only at the beginning of a new chapter in my life, both personally and professionally. And I feel like the sky is the limit.
It is. With you, it always is. It always is. Now, Calgary was lucky enough to get it for their film festival. I understand that Toronto is going to get a screening too. Am I correct on that?
Yes, and in fact, we're doing a tour of these screenings. It's going to be in Vancouver on the 4th of November, and it's going to be in Toronto at the Royal Theatre on November the 12th. And we just were told that we're going to be in Ottawa on the 21st of November, and Hamilton on the 5th of December, and Super Channel on the 21st of November, and it's going to go across the country. So all of the dates will be on bifnaked.com.
And in the meantime, you're still doing shows, aren't you?
Well, we're going to do an acoustic performance at all the screenings. I will be there in person, and we'll do a Q&A with the audience every night.
Fantastic. Man, you so deserve all of this.
Thank
It's
you,
time
Rudy.
for somebody like yourself who has been such an architect in Canadian music to finally get their flowers. This is going to be amazing.
Thank you.
I'm going to be there for that
Oh,
screening.
yay!
There is
Yay!
no way you could keep me away from that. Before we go, and I saw that you had a chance to be on Jan Arden's podcast.
Yes, it was
And
so fun.
she asked you something, and Jen, I'm going to steal a little bit of one of your questions because I think it is so important because of the way this world is, and we talk about mental health. What advice can you throw out to somebody out there who is, because we talked about this just even before we got on this interview with this crazy things you've seen on social media or out your door on subways or wherever. What kind of positive message can you give those folks who are just having trouble just trying to cope with everything and just wanting to find quote unquote their happy place?
Oh, yes, we just talked about it, and I believe it so much is you have to schedule joy. You have to find joy, whatever it looks like for you every day or every week. But every day you have to really find your joy, and you have to let it go. You have to let those stressors go. You have to just decide that you're not going to let it bother you somehow. Whatever that is, you just have to go, nope. Like, I had a friend who used to just say in their head all the time, not my circus. All the time. And it really resonated with me because it would make me laugh. And I go, nope. Like just like fast, just in their head, they go, nope. Just nope, like nope, not gonna let like it would not stick to them whatever that stressor was, whether it was their spouse complaining or whether it was their mother-in-law saying on the phone something terrible, or the bank lineup, somebody behind them in the bank lineup was, giving the teller a hard time, or someone honking their car in the traffic. Nope, it would just be like, nope, shut it down. And that was the stress that was rising within them. They would shut it down and go, nope. And I went, yeah, that's great. Nope. And big smile. Nope. Turn up this car stereo or whatever it was. And it always worked. And it made me laugh. And I thought, that's great. Nope, just shut it down. Nope, not my circus. That's it. And it's funny because it's silly. And I know that it sounds like it trivializes your stress, but sometimes in that moment, it's an interrupter and it interrupts whatever that stressor is. And sometimes it'll work.
I
So,
love it.
yeah,
I think it will work. Always love from my heart, always respect for the
thank you.
career. I'm so happy that this is finally getting done and I get an excuse to run into you. So even
Yay.
better. So
Yeah.
congratulations
Thank you
on this
so much,
documentary.
Rudy. So nice.